I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. Juan Cuadrado, untradeable, first owner. The pack he came from was a Twitch Prime pack, if that's the pack it came from. I will show you that probably in 6 o'clock. I could have showed you here, but I've edited it now, and that's all I can say. So anyway, you can check that out at 6 o'clock if you want. If not, don't worry about it. This is the player review for the 92 team of the season so far. Juan Cuadrado, 5-star skills, 3-star weak foot. He has high attacking work rate, which for me personally is fantastic, although I'm sure for a lot of people will be irritating as you like your defenders to stay back. Now, that being said, only the 3-star weak foot we mentioned, that for, again, a lot of people might be a problem. But for me personally, I will mark it down as a negative because obviously it would have been much better had he had a 4-star or a 5-star, but still. And of course, lean body type, which is sensational. A lot of people overlook that or just don't think about it at all or don't know it exists. Someone asked me the other day why... or what's the difference between stocky, average, and lean body types? It's basically like stocky is obviously what it says on the tin. Someone who's quite not obviously not fat, but you know, like built, if that's a sense. And an average is just literally the average body type in the game. And then lean is someone very slim, slender, right? So what you want, for the most part at least, is a lean body type. High agility, high pace, good dribbling. Fortunately, that is exactly what Cuadrado has. Lean body type, 96 acceleration, 99 sprint speed, 99 agility, only the 89 balance, but you'll get by with that because how this game works. Obviously, if the agility is high enough, and the pace and the body type in particular, the balance won't matter too much. A little bit irritating for a fullback not to have great balance and then not to have good strength as well. We'll talk about that. But with 99 dribbling and 93 ball control, that is pretty damn decent. Now, before I go any further, just want to give a little disclaimer. If you can hear like really loud sort of scraping in the background, it's because there is a tree that has collapsed on my roof, and yeah, it's in the wind. It's just going mental. It's the end of May, beginning of June, and it is like a hurricane outside. Crazy stuff. Now, depending on whether you want to play him as a fullback or as an attacker or as a super sub attacker, this review is going to go several ways. I'm going to have to break it down as if you want to use him as a fullback, and then we'll mention if you want to use him as any other position, because obviously Cuadrado is so well-rounded and might even be better geared to play further forward, so we'll have to address that. Now, defensively, 91 stand tackle, 96 slide tackle, which is good, but I only ever really use the slide tackle in an emergency. Like, either someone will be running toward me and I'm backing away, and then I'm thinking, in their mind, he's just going to keep backing away. I can go all the way until I need to pass or I need to shoot, and then all of a sudden I'll just change and I'll launch forward, and that's where the aggression comes in and the slide tackle. Very rarely happens with full-backs. It's normally centre-backs. That's the team. Of course, I sort of built it to review Jeremy Boga. The review for him is already on the channel. To be fair, I've played a few more games because obviously I was playing with Manolas and Cuadrado. Manolas' review is out later tonight. You do not want to miss that card, man. But Boga, I've not changed my mind slightly, but I do think he's a little bit better than maybe I gave him credit for. 3-star is harsh, of course it is, and there are definitely a few other stats in there that I'm not really happy about. But he's almost like a St. Maximin without the 5-star skills. That's in a nutshell how I would describe Jeremy Boga's Player Moments card. So if you haven't seen the review, go watch it, but then maybe add 5% on top of what I've said. So with that being said, let's go to Cuadrado. And is he good as a right back? Yeah, actually he is pretty good. Now, the beautiful thing, or the negative thing, whichever way you look at it, about this game is that you don't actually have to have a fullback who knows how to defend. That is a little bit stupid, because in real life, obviously, if you don't have a fullback who knows how to defend, you are going to be in a world of trouble. However, in FIFA, all you really need is a body. Obviously, someone with relatively good defensive stats is nice, but you just need a body there. You just need someone who can run back and forth and who is able to jockey and obviously has the agility to keep up with people and to be able to sort of maneuver and try and pass in lanes and such. Cuadrado can do all that, and he does have moderate defensive skill because obviously 91 stand tackle, he's only got 80 interceptions, he's only got 82 defensive awareness, and of course he does have a medium defensive work rate, so it's not ideal, especially if you're that, I mean, look at the state of that. If you're that desperate, he was never going to get that ball and he still swung for it. If you're that desperate to defend and you don't really know how to defend, or maybe you're not good at defending, maybe you should stick to telling your fullbacks to stay back while attacking and getting someone who knows how to defend. That Ramos player moments card, by the way, who is available for the rest of the game in the players section under SBCs, that card is phenomenal if you play, I wouldn't say narrow, but for example, if you play a 5 at the back, you can either switch him in to be the third centre-back, or you can play him as a full-back and tell him to stay back. And then, of course, you've got a back 5, and for the most part at least, obviously your centre-backs will know how to defend, but your right-back will as well, because Ramos is built more for being a defence-minded centre-back than he is an attacking full-back. But as you can probably tell, the way I like to play with my fullbacks is to give them the ball and let them run or let them overlap. And that's exactly what I did with Cuadrado. Set him to overlap. I do that with my fullbacks anyway. I do have a tactic where I tell them to stay back, but I very rarely use it because my mantra is that if my opponent scores 3, I need to score 4. So it doesn't matter how many goals my opponent scores, I always just need to make sure I'm scoring 1 more than him, which is obviously stupid because that's how you win football games. Everybody knows that, but it's the Ian Holloway of football. When he used to, remember when Blackpool were in the Premier League and they were actually doing really well and all their games finished like 5-4 and 4-3 and such, and at the end of every interview we just say, you just got to make sure you score 1 more goal than they do, who cares about defending? That is basically how I play FIFA, hence the reason why every game is like 3-3, 4-4. But yeah, in terms of defensive capability, he's not the best, but then he's not terrible either. Like I said, in this game you just need a body, and he's more than willing to get back. He's got great stamina, his aggression is fantastic, so he will sort of pounce out of that jockey and get the ball quite regularly. He is pretty good at the back. He's not amazing. He's definitely not the best, but he's not terrible. Now, going forward, I mean, a lot of fun, right? I've got the UCL right back on another account, and that's a good card. That's a fun card. But to have someone who has 5-star skills and then 99 dribbling, insane agility, pace, lean body type, the shot power to boot, good passing, really good physicals apart from the strength. If you would just to purely use him as a super sub and bring him off the bench, you would cause so many problems for your opponent, especially if you know how to and enjoy using skill moves. Now, I don't necessarily claim to be the best at using them, but I do enjoy using them, and whether I use them correctly or not is completely irrelevant because I still enjoy myself. So with a 5-star skill player like this, popping out those ball roll flicks and the Balassi flicks and whatever else, just pulling out those type of maneuvers can just it amplifies the fun, because FIFA is one of those really annoying sort of mentally draining games where you can play one game that lasts 15 minutes and you feel like you've been playing it for an hour and a half because you have to concentrate that hard, or because you're that bored because your opponent's just passing around the middle. There's so many different reasons why, but to have an injection of fun like this, especially in Rivals, maybe not so much in Weekend League, but in Rivals in particular, having a card like this, whether it be from the starting position or bringing him off the bench, can make the world of difference to how much you actually enjoy this game. I've changed the categories, by the way. We've now gone 90 and over and 89 and under, because there are obviously going to be 89 and under Team of the Season cards and Man of the Match cards and stuff worth reviewing. And of course, what we had before was like 86 and under. There were a few EFL Team of the Season cards that we reviewed where that was... but that made sense. Same with the Saudi League and a few of the other minor leagues. But as we progress now, I would imagine the cards are just going to get better and better. And of course, we'll have Ultimate Team of the Season at some point. And yeah, so it just made sense to change the categories. I was toying with the idea of 3 categories, but let's just keep it simple. Let's just talk about 90 and over. He's a very good fullback if you want to use him as a fullback. I would. I like him. And like I said, you don't need great defenders to be fullbacks. You just need him to be able to get back and have a body in the way. He could have better strength. His weak foot could be better. If you do use him as a super sub, yes, his finishing could be better, and his defensive work rate is annoying if you do have him on overlap, because he is kind of reluctant to come back, but if you take control, his stamina holds out. He is a very good player. I did thoroughly enjoy myself. If you have enjoyed this review, do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.